Hi, this is Karen Fiorucci, the Conscious Intuitive. It is January 7th, 2023. So I thought I would write about how to understand how to cope through change and to help create change and problem solve. So here we go. 7 steps to coping and creating change. How do we learn to create change and live more in alignment with opening up and feeling better? It starts with needing more awareness of how to shift our feelings, thoughts, and actions, and creating a plan through steps and stages. When we acknowledge wanting more for ourselves, our spiritual body expands and is more open for connection with other aspects of ourselves, mentally, emotionally, heart-based, and spiritually. We need more love and more compassion for all life on this planet right now. It begins with us, you and me. There has been much suffering and mental distortion that has helped fuel and create things we want and things that we do not want. But in this day and age, we're focused and we're faced with so many things, so many personal circumstances to work through. I find that emotional intelligence is something that needs to be taught from when we are a youth. But as grown-ups, we need to know how to do this and then pass it down. Learning how to process thoughts and feelings is paramount to creating harmony in one's life. And according to Psychology Today, emotional intelligence refers to the ability to identify and manage one's own emotions as well as the emotions of others. Emotional intelligence is generally said to include a few skills, namely emotional awareness, or the ability to identify one's own emotions, the ability to harness those emotions and apply them to tasks like thinking and problem solving, and the ability to manage emotions, which includes both regulating one's own emotions when necessary and also helping others to do the same. This is lacking in so many folks, the ability to discern between thought and emotion, and how to balance it all out without exploding into anger or acting in a childish way. This knowledge is most needed right now. When we want to work on ourselves to better ourselves and to feel better, this is where we need to realize that looking at personal responses and how we feel are paramount in creating change for the better. We are in a timing on this planet to work on our personal stuff. It is our responsibility. It's our responsibility to not bring past into the present and to work through conflict and miscommunication with ourselves and with others. I personally believe it is important to address issues that arise within us as soon as we can. Do not let it fester. Now, that is not to say that we spew feelings out without thinking through the best way to deliver it or express it. There is an internal process of thinking and feeling that can favor outcomes to solve issues. Also, using discernment in thinking and communication is key here. Discernment can be broken down into gaining a perspective or perception in the absence of judgment, and with a view and a goal to obtain a clearer understanding. This comes from the heart and soul. Our own spiritual essence can and will guide us into some clarity and resolve for ourselves and others. Personal situations and problem solving is a valuable skill for mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. When an issue, decision, or disagreement is playing on your mind or in your heart, and you're not sure how to approach it, the stress involved can really play in a big way and most definitely shift our overall mood and demeanor. Having the skills to resolve personal problems in a logical way that takes your needs into account can be a big help in managing these stresses and emotions. One way is to use a technique known as structured personal problem solving. Structured problem solving is more than a useful strategy that can be applied in a number of situations when dealing with conflict, anxiety, upset, stress, or depressive feelings, through disagreements in relationships, and trying to reach compromise or common ground. Just solving problems for ourselves. Whether it is a perceived potential loss of a job or relationship, or coping with actual loss itself. Another is conflict and uncertainty of how to handle things, or wondering if we can be resolved at all. And lastly, but not least, is difficulties with children and parenting. Try some of these problem-solving strategies. There are numerous ones to try, such as, number 1, make a connection between the difficulties you are experiencing and the emotional responses you have. Make notes and reflect upon them. Number 2, become aware of resources that are available to you to help manage your problems, your personal or professional situations. This can be with many different types of people or professionals: family, friends, personal therapy, and spiritual wise counsel. Number 3, learn a systematic approach to overcoming your difficulties and applying it. Number 4, regaining a sense of control over problems is powerful. That is true empowerment. And 5, develop skills to filter or harness further issues or problems in the future. So what is a strategy to help cope and work through any difficulty? Here is an easy 7-step process and strategy. Step 1, take a deep breath and have faith that you can work through anything. Step 2, clarifying the situation. Spend time noticing and acknowledging any symptoms of being disturbed, stressed, or feeling depressed that you can and you may experience or that you are going through. Once you've identified your own emotions and experiences, take some time to reflect on what issues or problems are present. Make a list of them. Think about it and notice if there is a link between your emotional struggles and the issues that you've listed. It is possible that these difficult feelings are an emotional response to the issue. If so, then it stands to reason that resolving these problems successfully may lead to improved mood, more harmony, and overall well-being. Step 3, defining the issues. So go back to your list of issues and spend some time clarifying them, breaking large ones down into smaller ones, more manageable. Go through them one at a time. The important thing at this stage is to not try to solve them, but to make sure that you're starting off with a clear idea of what the problem or issue is all about. Step 4, brainstorm solutions. List any ideas that come to mind, thinking of as many as possible options as you can. Include ideas that seem unrealistic or unworkable right now. In other words, let your imagination and your wisdom open up. Try not to evaluate these possibilities at this stage. Avoid saying to yourself, "Oh, that would never work," or "How can that work? I don't see how that can work." Sometimes the best ideas or concepts seem unrealistic at first. Step 5, evaluating and discerning solutions. In this step, you are trying to work out what the advantages and disadvantages of each of the solutions are. Get 2 pieces of paper and title one pros and the other one cons. List all the positive and the negative things about each of your ideas. If there is someone you feel okay about talking to, do it, and ask any ideas that they may have as well. Step 6, seeing or feeling a preferred method. Figure out which of the listed solutions, or a combination of the solutions, is most workable for you and is most likely to get the results that you would like. Of your top solutions so far, take a moment to consider the variables and ask yourself the following questions with intention to find the solutions. Number 1, what is the best possible outcome if I implement this solution or do this? Number 2, what is the worst possible outcome? Number 3, what is your preferred outcome regardless of what you think at the moment? And number 4, all things considered, what is your most likely outcome? Then, of course, try to go with the solution that has the most appealing and the most likely outcome for you. Step 7, developing a plan of action. Start with setting an intention to be successful. That is key here. Intention is the starting point of every desire. It is the creative, spiritual power that fulfills all of our needs for more and better, for solving issues with relationships or situations, or for spiritual awakening and more love. Everything that happens in the universe begins with intention. And intention is a directed impulse of consciousness that contains the seed, form of that you aim to create. We are creators. We are powerful creators. Know that. Once you've established in a state of restful awareness with your breath, release your intentions and your desires. The best time to plant your intention is during a period after meditation or deep breathing, and connect with your heart. After you set an intention, let it go. Trust. Simply stop thinking about it and continue this process for a few minutes each day. So here we plan out what implementing the solution will look like. The first thing to do here may involve breaking down the solution into a series of small steps, bite-sized pieces, you could say. Think of every first thing that you would like. And think about what you would need in order to get the ball rolling. So it's something that you can do today or tomorrow. It might be something like carefully mapping out what I want to communicate to that person, or update a resume. That will be step 1 of your plan. Then come up with the next step. You will need to take the sequence of tasks that will be necessary one by one. You can use a list format or you can use a mind mapping process. You are creating specific goals here, goals that are to be achieved in the short term, such as within a week, the medium term, the next month, and over a longer term, achieving smaller goals early will help to inspire hope and faith and clear motivation, and this will lead to developing a sense of achievement and working on solutions. I hope this helps. Namaste. Believe in your ability to create change. If you don't do it, who will and who can?